How's it going?
Very not too bad. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. I know that you're very, very busy, and I'm flattered that you were willing to be able to do this with us.
No, of course, man. I appreciate the support and same for you taking the time out.
Very cool. I appreciate you. Cry at the Moon is absolutely amazing in my opinion. I think it is such a fantastic step forward for you and an amazing way to launch what is a burgeoning solo career.
Thank you, man. That's very kind. Yeah, I mean, I love it. I'm very excited about this next step, and Cry at the Moon felt like the perfect song to kind of introduce everyone into the world with. Um, the reaction's been, yeah, like I couldn't have imagined it to have gone the way it's gone. So it's really, yeah, it's amazing, man. I'm very happy.
I think it speaks volumes about who you are as an artist, as a songwriter. And that's before we even talk about the vocal performance on this, which is jaw-dropping in my opinion. I think that um, as much as you've achieved so much previously with the Vamps, I know you're going to answer a lot of questions today throughout the process of this about that. And for me, I like to look forward. As much success as you've had, I'm very intrigued by what the future holds for you. And I think Cry at the Moon is such an amazing foray into being able to stretch your legs, for
Yeah.
lack of a better way to put it, right? Like, I assume the process has been completely different now that you're on your own with this project. And it's not a collaborative thing where there's four or five minds that are coming together to create the art. This, I think, gives you an opportunity to show off some aspects of what you're capable of that maybe you weren't in that prior situation.
Yeah, I think so, man. And like you say, it's about kind of pushing myself into areas that I haven't explored before, but that also feel kind of natural. Like I grew up on listening to a lot of rock. That was how I got into music, was through AC/DC in particular. I remember I watched a live video of AC/DC at Donington in like, I can't remember, it was like 1995. Just made me fall in love with music, especially rock music. And bringing that many people together, and Brian Johnson having like that many people in the palm of his hand. And I think rock's beautiful for that, of like it's so cathartic for people to listen to and to create. So it felt like the absolute right way to go for me, and something that I haven't had the chance to explore in the way that I am now. So I'm excited for people to kind of dig into the album when it comes out, because there's different shades of it. Like Cry at the Moon's a really good indicator, but there's a whole range of sounds on there. Um, so yeah, I'm really excited, dude.
Is the album still a work in process, or is this something that's done and ready to be launched at some point soon?
The album's done. The album's like 90% mixed, like 50% mastered. So we should be done and wrapped in the next month, I'd say. Which is, I wanted to have it all done early doors so that I could kind of, one, live with it for a bit, and then two, also like make intentional decisions along the way as to like which song feels right, which songs reacting amongst fans well. And it gives us that freedom to kind of really then work on the creative. Do you know what I mean? I think the visual side is so important as well, and I really want to work on that as best as I can, so it's a proper visual representation of the album, and it also elevates the sound of it through the visuals.
See, I love that you're so forward thinking in this because I think that there's a lot of artists that lose track of the fact that the performance is such a key piece to presenting the art in its entirety,
Yeah.
right? Like there's a lot of guys and artists that I think just kind of focus so much on the music that they lose the performance aspect of it, right? And as much as I'm a fan of being in an intimate setting with an artist and having it be personal, right? And kind of stripped down, man, there's to me nothing better than the punch that you get right in the face when the light show is proper, right? And that there's a visual element that helps you tell the story because words can only do so much. So I love the fact that you come from a background where you understand how important that production value is into getting the songs across to that
Yeah.
audience.
Especially like when you're, for me, like going to gigs when I was like 14, 15, it's, yeah, 50% that music, 60% the music and the band and the songs. But then yeah, it's the feeling of it's a whole world you're stepping into when you're stepping into a concert or a gig. And there's so many bands that I've seen that do that so well. It feels like you're stepping into their world for 2 hours. And then it's like a weird, you step out of reality for 2 hours and then you go back to it afterwards. But I think that's the job of like artists is to pull people out of their lives in a certain way and kind of have that escapism. And visuals are such a big part of that as well as the music.
I look forward and hope that you can make a return appearance here in Syracuse because I'm not sure if you remember or not. And this is kind of a weird full circle thing, right? So your previous project, the Vamps, who most people probably know you from best in the States, um, played a show for a radio station that is not mine here in Syracuse in 2017 at a
Wow.
little outdoor venue called Sharky's. And the
I
full circle
remember
part of that.
Sharkies.
Remember that?
Yeah, man.
The fun part about that whole thing is that a girl that we hired at 95X just about a year ago was a 17-year-old high school student that won a contest to be the person to introduce you guys that night, and now she works
That's so
here.
cool, man. Tell her I say hello. That's
I
so
definitely she sent me some pictures today of the two of you at that event, and it like warmed my heart, man, because
oh,
she
dude.
is to find a young person that wants to be in radio in 2024 is a rare thing. And the minute I told her that I had a Zoom with you this afternoon, I could tell that she was holding back, and I could only picture what 17-year-old Kara was like when she was actually like face to face with you.
Oh,
So
it's so funny. Oh, dude,
that's wild to me.
and like, congratulations to her as well, man. Like, she's pursued it. You know what I mean? She's in it. That's great to hear.
Absolutely. So hopefully sometime in the future, once we get this album out and you start touring stateside, man, the invitation is open. You're welcome here anytime. We'd love to have you.
Thank you, Scott. Yeah, I'd absolutely love to. I'll make sure I come back.
Very cool. Well, Bradley, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today. Cry at the Moon is streaming everywhere now. And I would be remiss without mentioning the fact that there's a killer acoustic version of it on Spotify that I've been listening to nonstop for the last few days. I can't wait for this album. I look forward to what the future holds for you, sir. And my gut tells me it's a lot more success. So kudos for everything you've achieved so far. And here's to the future for you, sir.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate it, man. Thanks again. I'll speak to you soon.
Take
Definitely.
care, Bradley. Thank you again.
Bye.